It's ingrained into the DNA of our everyday lives. In fact, while some of you may be watching this story on your television, there are many others who are probably watching on a different device. But technology isn't the only big change to your child's education. Oh, not by a long shot. We're in front of the town's only grocery store. It's been closed for years. You can see the windows are boarded up, and you come over here, the doors are still locked. This is the time of year for playing tricks and getting treats, but these reported clown sightings are taking it to the next level. Joke or not, police say this is not a laughing matter. Anytime there is any sort of rain, snow, it all turns, Tom Green virtually turns into a river. That's where it is right here. This is not frozen this morning, but let me show you what is frozen. When cars drive through this standing water, they track the water out, and this is what gets icy. There's some pools there, but as we go down a little bit further, those tracks have now turned to ice. So that's where the problem could be, and that's mostly what we have seen this morning. KCRS is the voice of West Texas, giving people a platform to voice their opinion for decades, especially the day after a presidential race. And you can bet this morning there is a lot to talk about. When Navarrete was arrested, it seemed like police had everything they needed to bring justice to more than a dozen young girls and women unknowingly recorded on Navarrete's cell phone while he worked here at this Walmart. But since no one came forward to identify themselves, serving justice got complicated. Photos and videos sum up children's skirts and dresses. The chilling crime spelled out in Samuel Navarrete's arrest affidavit. Even worse, it happened to at least 20 young girls and women. Ector County District Attorney Bobby Bland explains finding justice in this case was not black and white.
Nobody's come forward at this point. We can only go with the evidence we have.
That evidence was found in the original report filed. But Bland says the woman who filed the original report against Navarrete never followed up with the DA's office nor police, thus never identifying her daughter in the video.
We don't hold that against her. It just makes the case difficult to prosecute. So we did the best we could in this case.
The case isn't completely closed. Bland says if any other victims come forward, his office will prosecute. As part of Navarrete's probation agreement, he will be visited more often and must consult with a sex offender therapist, but he will not be required to register as a sex offender. Reporting live in Odessa, I'm Tatum Guinn, CBS 7 News. Saturday morning in Iran, Texas. Hey, go! Just another day at the office for the Iran Braves. All eyes are on the state championship game.
You know, it's even better when you have to do it on Saturday because you're playing in the state title game on Thursday morning.
Their hard work has paid off big this season. They know all about winning. They're also getting a lesson on loss. The small community rocked by tragedy on the way home from a playoff game when an 18-wheeler plowed through the I-20 median, slamming into the bus carrying the cheerleaders, killing cheer sponsor Liz Pope and injuring 4 others. No doubt heartbroken, but never defeated.
She loved this team and this community more than anything, and I know what she would want for us to do to persevere.
The crash hit home for offensive guard Stephen Garlock. Liz Pope was his aunt. His mom, Christina Garlock, was severely injured in the crash. For the love of the game, he has found the will to move forward.
This time, you know, my mom, I talk to her, she tells me, don't you worry about me. Y'all go play some football.
Taking his mom's advice, Steven's getting ready for the game of his life.
Just feel amazing, you know. It's just, we can't really believe it because this is something that we've been trying to get to for years, and it's finally right in front of us, and I guess we're just not real sure how to react except just in awe.
Written in black and white. A visual reminder each practice of what the Braves are playing for. And in their hearts, another reminder of who they're playing for.
We're going to work till the very last whistle blows, till the clock hits 0, and that's how we play football, and that's how we're going to end it.
Reporting in Iran, I'm Tatum Guinn, CBS 7 News. It's a relatively new term known as digital infidelity. We spoke with a therapist who says behavior like that is more common than we think. So it got us thinking, how do you maintain a healthy relationship in 2016? And as you can imagine, it's complicated. Power on and check your feed. It's ingrained into our daily routine. But somewhere in that routine lies a temptation more and more people are giving into.
In a relationship outside of your physical relationship that would include any form of social media, be it text, be it Facebook, be it Instagram, Twitter, anything that you have to turn a switch on.
Susie Marquez, the clinical director at Samaritan Counseling Center, has seen it all. She says since the creation of social media, it has brought on a whole new set of relationship problems.
More access people have to social media, easier access to cross a boundary that they might not have done if it would be a face-to-face interaction. It doesn't make it feel as if you're doing something wrong.
She says the thrill of connectivity is causing a real-life disconnection.
It's so prevalent because we have access to it 24/7.
It's even brought on a new term, back burner relationships. An Indiana University study found that Facebook users in relationships frequently use the site to keep in touch with a platonic friend should their current relationship go south. In the study, men reported twice as many back burners than women. But situations like these are a gradual process.
Like, well, you're constantly nagging me, so they're talking to a person, oh, my wife is constantly nagging me. And then that's where the lines start to get crossed. If you cannot have that discussion with your spouse, but you're having that discussion with someone else, you have developed an emotional relationship that you don't have with your significant other.
A digital disconnect is something West Texan Rob Jenkins knows all about.
It's been a problem, a consistent problem, actually.
Currently single, the local business owner says social media has changed the dating game.
If people like you, they're going to let you know. They're going to let you know. They have a lot more nerve when they're behind a computer.
Jenkins, who travels often in his line of work, believes social media can be toxic to a relationship.
She sees that I'm in New York, and there's people in New York saying, can't wait to see you. You know, I got my tickets. What are we doing after the show? Like, that's going to put bad thoughts into her head. The idea of somebody's looking forward to you being in their town, and I'm stuck here, and I can't supervise it. And making it work is difficult. I mean, it takes a lot of work. I mean, somebody has to really trust you, and you really have to trust the other person.
Hard work, no doubt. Marquez says part of her job is helping couples find common ground and setting boundaries.
If you don't have that boundary already established prior to, then when it actually happens, it's like, where did this come from? It's hard because they don't consider it an issue until it becomes an issue.
Marquez says if you don't have those boundaries set by your first or second date, you're just wasting your time and setting yourself up for heartache. But what if you're past your first or second date? What if you're engaged to be married?
Just photography.
Heather Hawkes is at that step.
That's everything I'm telling you.
She's in the process of planning her big day.
Now we're starting to set budgets and we're starting to figure out who's gonna cater, who's gonna bake the cake.
Heather met the man of her dreams in high school.
I always kind of felt something for him.
And she's already convinced at a young age that she's ready to marry her fiancé, Fago.
My favorite thing about him is how he loves me. Like, I just know that there's no one else who can love me the way he loves me.
While the pair are preparing to make the ultimate commitment, Hawkes says getting to this point took a lot of work. Social media almost derailed their relationship.
This Twitter account randomly tweeted out one day after lunch that Fago had a lot of side chicks alongside me, and I was like, what the heck is this? Like, I was kind of mad because this was weeks in our relationship. We're barely starting to know each other.
She says communication was key to fixing their online drama.
You can't believe everything that's on the internet, like everyone says. So eventually I got over it. You have to trust your partner.
But in some situations, finding trust or rather rebuilding it, can be a challenge.
What is it that you value about each other? What is it that you want to restore in your relationship? We have to go one piece at a time and going back and setting the boundaries.
Jaquez and her fiancé found common ground and have since built an unbreakable trust.
If you don't trust your partner, you're not going to be okay with them doing anything on social media.
But that's not the case for everyone.
If I'm with someone and I'm seeing their phone going off and God, I'm asking questions. Who is that? What do they want? Why are they messaging you? Do they know that you're with me? You know, that type of stuff. And it can cause a problem almost instantly.
At this point, shutting down all internet access and social media isn't realistic. But what is realistic?
If you think in your mind, I probably shouldn't do this, I shouldn't friend this person, or I shouldn't text at another level, then you probably shouldn't.
There are signs of digital infidelity. We have them listed right here. They include loss of interest in sex, change in sleep patterns, demanding more privacy, and making excuses to spend time alone. Reporting in the studio, I'm Tatum Guinn, CBS 7 News. If you come to the Big Bend area, there is a lot more than just the beautiful views. There's actually a lot to do, and today we got a taste of that. Big Bend Ranch State Park. Tucked away in the far reaches of West Texas, in between Alpine and Presidio. People here call it the hidden gem of West Texas.
I love it for its solitude. There's not any other natural wildernesses in the state of Texas really anymore. Big Bend Ranch is one of the few of them remaining.
Making it the perfect place to enjoy the great outdoors.
It's a different world out here, but we have all these local guide and outfitter services that can take you on an amazing backpacking trip, bike trip, river trip.
Today we took advantage of Gold's advice. We strapped up with Angel Expeditions for a day of outdoor adventures.
Whoop, whoop.
Biking, hiking, and a river tour. We left no stone unturned. While canoeing along the Rio Grande, we met up with the McCraw family from Houston. They're soaking up everything the Big Bend region has to offer on their family trip.
Just to be here and walk through it, walk through these canyons where there's just no advertising or TV or pollution or anything. It's just gorgeous.
She says it's the perfect place to unplug and make memories with those you love.
There are so many places that are touched by man, and this is one of the few that's not.
Reporting from the Big Bend Ranch State Park, I'm Tatum Guinn, CBS 7 News.